I'm doing good, Prabhuji.
Your mom is traveling. Are you fine without her? Are you missing her already?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Missing her?
Mm,
The food?
yeah,
I'm sure your dad is there to take care in her absence, right?
it's Prabhuji.
And Vinita is also there to take care of you, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
I saw Lakshay just last week. Thank you, Lakshay Prabhu, for inviting us, and we had a beautiful morning session there. An amazing prasad.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Bionto, how are you and your family? All okay?
Good. Yeah, that's Prabhuji.
When is all of yours Christmas break starting?
Mine is starting December 20th.
December 17th.
17th, 20th. Yeah, 20th I think sounds right. So for most, because then 2 weeks off. Can you go on the 3rd or sorry, the 6th January?
My school starts again January 5th.
5th is
I
Sunday.
come back on Thursday, Friday. Then I get the 2 weekends, and then I get my first actual week of school back.
Okay, awesome. Is it already cold in your city? There, I guess. Even it's cold in Florida, what to speak of the northern part. Okay, glad all of you were able to join. So thank you for taking out your time. So you can bring your Japamala. We'll chant one round together. And today we will not we will read a special story. Hmm? How many of you have know the story of Jarasandha? Raise your hand if you know the story of Jarasandha. Okay, most of you, some of you know, most of you don't, but still we'll try to read the story of Jarasandha. Hmm? And before that, today is also the 74th Vyasa Puja or appearance day of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, whom most of you have at least or know about him or may have seen or heard or also. So we'll dedicate today's session and today's japa and today's reading um, on the occasion of the Vyasa Puja, the 74th Vyasa Puja. Is that okay? So we can keep Maharaj in our thoughts and prayers and chanting, and so we can dedicate this unto him. Okay, so please bring your japamalas and then we will start chanting one round. And you can also keep your camera on, and you can also keep your microphone on so that we all can inspire each other and chant together. You all have your japa malas with you? Okay, everyone show me. Show me. Raise your hand. Show me your other. Where is yours?
I'm gonna go get it.
Okay, please, please. And Ansh, you have yours. Naina, Sampada.
Yes, Prabhuji, I have mine.
Okay, perfect. So let's begin. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane Namaste
Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prajahina Devi Shashanyavadi Paschadya Deshatarine
Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram.
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Ram Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Ram,
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 Hare
Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Shiksha de Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
de
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Shiksha
Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
de Shiksha de Ram, Ram de Hare Ram
Hare
de
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram,
de
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram
Ram Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Krishna 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 Re Ram Ram Re
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Re Ram Re
Ram
Krishna Re
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Ram Re Krishna 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 Re
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Re
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram,
Ram Re Krishna Ram
Ram Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram,
Re Krishna Re
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Re Krishna Re
Ram Ram
Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram Re
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Re Ram Re Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram Re Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Re
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Ram Ram Ram
Ram Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Krishna, Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram
Ram Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Re Krishna Krishna Re Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Re
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Re Krishna Re Ram Hare Krishna
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Re Krishna Re
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram,
Re
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna,
Re Krishna Krishna Re
Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna Re Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जलधर शशिवर्णो गोपवेशौ किशोरौ सहचरगणवृन्दै क्रीडमानौ व्रजेषु नटवरजितवेषो नीलपीताम्बराद्य जगज्जननहेतु रामकृष्ण नतोऽस्मि Hare Krishna. Dear Vaishnavas, please accept my humble obeisance. Thank you so much for joining. Lakshay, Athar, Bionto, Sampada, Ani, Ansh, Naina, Mishti, and Ethereal. I'm so grateful to all of you. I hope you're all doing well. Nice. I hope you're all memorizing the Bhagavad Gita verses little by little every day. Okay, very good. So today we'll talk about a story from the Krishna book or Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10. It's a 72 chapter 72 of the book Krishna book, entitled The Liberation of King Jarasandha. Jarasandha. Anyone knows why was he called Jarasandha? Anyone knows anything about Jarasandha? Anyone knows, was he a demon or a devotee? Yes, Mishti?
Hare Krishna. Jarasandha was like a demon who opposed Krishna in battle 17 times.
Uh-huh. Very nice. Ansh, what's on your mind? Please rename also.
Jarasandha was a demon that Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima defeated, or Krishna, Yudhishthira, and Bhima defeated him, and they captured 100 kings, and he was giving sacrifices to a demigod and he was sacrificing all those kings every month or so.
Interesting. Nice. Okay, so we will primarily read today. I mean, all of you will get chance, so raise your hand if you are interested to read this. So we'll all read a little bit. Okay, it's quite long, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to complete in this session. We can skip certain sections. So the scene is that the Yudhishthir Maharaj, is meeting the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is also his cousin brother, and he's planning for a Rajasuya Yagya, or a big fire sacrifice. Now he's the emperor, he's the supreme, after the battle, right? And he's performing, actually it was before the battle, I believe, yeah. So, by performing this sacrifice, I wish to satisfy all the demigods who are your empowered representatives, right? And I wish that you'll kindly help me in this great venture. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is speaking this, right? So the idea was that he wanted to invite everyone, and at that point, I wish to invite everyone, Brahma, Shiva, etc., in the great assembly from all over the universe. I want to substantiate that you are the supreme personality of Godhead and everyone is your servant. Okay, that was the idea. Now let's read this paragraph. Very, very important paragraph. Yes, Athar, you can read. Others can also raise hand if you're interested to read, and then you'll get turns.
My dear Lord, those who are constantly in Krishna consciousness and who think of your lotus feet or your shoes are certainly free from all contamination of material life. Such persons who engage in your service in full Krishna consciousness, who meditate upon you only and offer prayers unto you, are purified souls. Being constantly engaged in Krishna conscious service, they are freed from the cycle of repeated birth and death. Or even if they do not want to be freed from this material existence, but desire to enjoy material opulences, their desires are also fulfilled by their Krishna conscious activities. In fact, those who are pure devotees of your lotus feet have no desire for material opulences. As far as we are concerned, we are fully surrendered unto your lotus feet, and by your grace, we are so fortunate as to see you personally. Therefore, naturally, we have no desire for material opulences. The verdict of Vedic wisdom is that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I want to establish this fact, and I also want to show the world the difference between accepting you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and accepting you as an ordinary, powerful, historical person. I want to show the world that one can attain the highest perfection of life simply by taking shelter at your lotus feet. Exactly as one can satisfy the branches, twigs, leaves, and flowers of an entire tree simply by watering the root. If one takes to Krishna consciousness, his life becomes fulfilled both materially and spiritually. Hare Krishna.
Well, thank you. Who is I here? Who's I? Who knows the answer? Who's I? I is who's speaking this? I wish to show. I also want to show. Who's I?
Yudhishthira Maharaj.
Yes, Yudhishthira Maharaj, right? Because he wants to invite everyone in the yajna and show the glories of devotional service and substantiate, as we just read. I want to substantiate that you are the Supreme Lord and everyone else is the servant. Hmm. So, if one takes to Krishna consciousness, beautiful line, will his life or her life becomes fulfilled both materially and spiritually. It means one will never lose if one takes to bhakti process. I have seen in my life, I have seen in many, many other devotees' life or aspiring devotees, trying to be devotees, that one is never a loser in both. Rather, one gains a lot in both aspects, like Dhruva Maharaj. Hmm. Okay, so this is an important paragraph with Yudhishthira Maharaj, the great Mahajan. He's one of the 10 Mahajans. He is speaking this himself, Dharmaraj Yudhishthira. Okay, so let's read further. Yes, Naina?
Hey Krishna, this does not mean that you are partial to the Krishna conscious person and indifferent to the non-Krishna conscious person. You are equal to everyone. That is your declaration. You cannot be partial to one and not interested in for others. For you sit in everyone's heart as the supersoul and give everyone the respective results of his fruitive activities. You give every living entity the chance to enjoy this material world as he desires. As the supersoul, you sit in the body with the living entity, giving him the results of his own actions as well as the opportunities to turn toward your devotional service by developing Krishna consciousness. You openly declare that you should surrender unto you, giving up all other engagements, and that you will take charge of him, giving him relief from the reactions of all sins. Still, the living entity remains attached to material activities, and suffers or enjoys the reactions without your interference. You are like the desire tree in the heavenly planets, which awards benedictions according to one desires. Everyone is free to achieve the highest perfection, but if one does not so desire, then your awarding of lesser benedictions is not due to partiality. Hare Krishna.
Many, many people ask, hey, is God partial? This paragraph answers that so beautifully. Is God partial to devotees? What do you say? We discussed last time also. Whom does God protect? Whom does Krishna protect? You remember? Krishna protects
His devotees.
his devotees. That's correct. He protects everyone, but he is impartially partial to his devotees. Now, can anyone become his devotee? If they choose to, is there like a limited quota? Like only 1,000 people can become devotees. What do you say?
No.
No. So, as Yudhishthir Maharaj is saying, that it is by their own choice, their freedom. Everyone is free to achieve the highest perfection, which is pure bhakti. But if one does not so desire, then why? Then your awarding of lesser benediction is not due to partiality. For example, the sun rises every day in the morning, correct? But if someone keeps sleeping and puts a thick blanket on top and they say, "Oh my God, it's so dark, it's so dark." Is it sun's fault? What do you think? Is sun to be blamed for that or that person to be blamed of not taking access of the opportunity of the sun rays, right? So God is like sun, right? Krishna Surya Sama. He's open to all. He's showering his mercy to all. But if someone wants to be in the darkness of illusion or the blanket of illusion, then that's not Krishna's problem then. Then the karma, the laws of nature will take care. So finally, this is all like the background of the story. We'll do a little bit fast here. The Supreme Lord said, "My dear Yudhishthira, O killer of the enemies, O ideal justice personified, I completely support your decision to perform the Rajasuya Yajna. After you perform this great sacrifice, your good name will remain well established forever in the history of human civilization." So in short, here the Supreme Lord is encouraging. But now he's putting up a request also. This sacrifice will satisfy everyone, but I request you that you first conquer all the kings of the world and collect all the requisite paraphernalia for executing the great sacrifice. Because it is Rajasuya Yajna. That means he has to first gain victory over all the kings. My dear Yudhishthir, your four brothers are direct representatives of the demigods like Vayu and Indra. Who is the representative of Vayu? Who is the brother of Yudhishthir? Who is the representative of Vayu?
Bhima.
Bhima, yes. Bhima was the son of Indra, sorry, the Vayu Dev, right? Indra was the son of, sorry, Arjuna was the son of Indra Dev, right? Okay, it is said that Bhima was born, okay, it's in the next line of the demigod Vayu. Arjuna was born of the Indra, and Yudhishthira was born from the Yamaraj. Okay, your brothers are great heroes, and you are the most pious and self-controlled king. Now, bonus question. Who was the demigod? Nakul and Sardeva were the representatives of which demigod? Anyone knows? Yes, Mishti?
The Ashwini Kumars?
Yeah, the Ashwini Kumaras, yes. And therefore they were twins, right? So Madri asked to call Ashwini Kumaras, and that's how she got the twins, two sons, Nakula and Sadeva. Everyone knows the five Pandavas' name, right? Give a thumbs up if you know the five Pandavas. Who were the sons of Kunti? Everyone knows? Kunti and Madri. Kunti had three sons, Madri had two sons. They took collectively called as Pandavas. Yudhishthira Maharaj, the eldest, then Bhima, Arjuna, Nakul, Sadev. So three, Kunti Maharani, and then two, Madri. Those were the two wives of, who's going to complete it?
Pandu.
Pandu. Yes. And therefore, these 5 children are called
Pandavas.
Pandavas. Who was the father of, or who was their grandfather of the Pandavas? Lakshay?
Bhishma.
Bhishma. Okay, good. All of you know most of the characters. Good, perfect. Let's continue. So, Lord Krishna told Yudhishthira that he is conquered by the love of one who has conquered his senses. So beautiful. What is the Sanskrit name of this one who has conquered his senses? We have studied this many times. Who can type in if you can, you know the answer? What's the Sanskrit name? It comes multiple places. Probably you hear it also multiple times. Who knows the answer? One who has conquered his senses, or the master of one who's a master of the senses.
Goswami.
Goswami, yes. Go means senses. Swami means master. So we have to become Goswami, not Go Das. And Krishna is conquered. You see, Krishna is saying, Yudhishthira Maharaj, that I am conquered by the love of those who have conquered their senses. One who has not conquered senses cannot conquer Krishna. Simple. Wow. जीवर लालसा ये इति उतिधाय कृष्णोदर परायण Krishna nahi पाए. That means those who are busy in eating what they want, doing what they want, have no routine, no system, no discipline, no control on their belly, no control on their genitals, no control on their eyes, their ears, etc. Krishna won't come easily under their control. Make sense? So we have to try to become Goswami. It's not easy to control our senses, to control our mind, but controlling Krishna is not easy, right? Okay, this is the secret of devotional service. To conquer the senses means to engage them in the service of the Lord. So we can't just say, no, 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 no. Okay, don't see anything, don't hear anything, don't do anything. No. Do productive things like read Gita, hear Krishna Katha, study for Krishna, do service for Krishna. Then the senses will stay busy in a good way. The specific qualification of the Pandavas, the brothers, was that they were always engaged in the service. Simple formula. To, it's that attack is the best defense, right? Rather than defending, how we defend ourselves from not doing bad things? By attacking. Attacking means engage. Let's say the mind will say, oh, let's like Haridas Thakur formula. Haridas Thakur, the prostitute, came and said, hey, I want to spend time with you and this and that. He said, oh, I'm busy in this chanting of japa. Can I talk to you after some time? After I'm done with my japa. So attack is the best defense. Engaging constructively. Who can give the verse from Bhagavad Gita, the higher taste verse? In chapter 2. Engage in the higher taste, the lower taste will go away. Vishaya. Anyone knows? Vishaya, Vinay, Vartante. Yes, Mishti?
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिना रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
Excellent. Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste of sense enjoyment remains. But ceasing such engagement by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. And that's exactly what we are reading here, right? They were always fixed in the service of the Lord. One who thus engages in the sense, his senses becomes purified, and with the purified senses, the devotee can actually render transcendental loving service to the Lord. There is no one in the three world of the universe, including the powerful demigods who can surpass my devotees in any of the six opulence: wealth, strength, reputation, beauty, knowledge, renunciation. Who knows this verse? Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya shashriya jnana vairagyaschaiva shannam bhaga iti gana. Therefore, if you want to conquer the worldly kings, there is no possibility of their emerging victorious. Why? Because Krishna is saying, my devotees, Pandavas are my devotees, and there can no one surpass them. So, dear Yudhishthira, send your brothers. They will be victorious. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj is being encouraged by the Supreme Lord, and his face was blossoming of transcendental happiness. He called all of his younger brothers, the four Pandavas, and asked them to go in the four directions. To chastise the miscreants, because king is the representative of God, right? And give protection to the faithful. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So protect the innocent, the faithful, and to punish the miscreants. Okay, let's read from here. Who wants to read? Wasn't read? Who is not? Yes, Ethereal, you want to read?
Yeah. In his Vishnu form, the Lord carries four weapons in his four hands: a lotus flower and a conch shell in two hands, and in the other two hands a club and a disc. The club and disc are meant for the infidel, miscreants, and demons, and the lotus flower and conch shell are for the devotees. But because the Lord is the supreme absolute, the result of all his weapons is one and the same. With the club and the disc, he chastises the miscreants so that they may come to their senses and know that they are not all in all, for above them there is a supreme Lord. And by bulging with the conch shell and offering blessings with the lotus flower, he always assures the devotees that no one can vanquish them, even in the greatest calamities. King Yudhishthir, being thus assured by the indication of Lord Krishna, ordered his youngest brother, Sahadev, accompanied by soldiers of the Shinjai tribe, to conquer the southern countries. Similarly, he ordered Nakula, accompanied by the soldiers of Matsya Desha, to conquer the kings of the western side. He sent Arjuna, accompanied by the soldiers of Desha, to conquer the kings of the northern side, and he ordered Bhimasena, accompanied by the soldiers of Ma Madras, to conquer the kings on the eastern side.
Thank you. So, the four brothers went in the four direction, right? North, south, east, and west. Who went in the eastern direction? Bhima, correct? Who went north? Yes, unmute.
Arjuna.
Arjuna. How about south?
Sahadev.
Sahadev in the south, okay. And what's pending?
Nakula.
Nakula went in the western.
Western side.
Okay. And where were they? They were kind of in the central, like the Delhi area, right? The Delhi in the Prastha. So the idea was not to declare war, right? But actually the brothers started to inform the kings about the intention of Rajasuya. So the kings were thus informed that they were required to pay taxes for the execution of the sacrifice. This payment of taxes to the Emperor Yudhishthira meant that the king accepted the subjugation. Before him, in case of a king's refusal to act, there was a fight. Does it make sense? So they went, and if anyone did not agree to accept Yudhishthira Maharaj as the king, then they had to fight. So practically they conquered all the directions and they brought sufficient taxes. And let's read from here. Who wants to? Yes, do you want to?
King Yudhishthira was very anxious. However, when he heard that King Jarasnadha of Magda did not accept his I forget how to say that. Sovereignty, seeing King Yudhishthira's anxiety, Lord Krishna informed him of the plan explained by Uddhava for conquering King Jarasnadha. Bhimsana, Arjuna, and Lord Krishna then started together for Girivraja, the capital city of Jarasandha, dressing themselves in the garb of Brahmanas. This was the plan devised by Uddhava before Lord Krishna started for Hastinapura, and now it was given practical application.
The last time we were talking about Krishna's protection, here also we see Lord Krishna is personally going with them to help, right? So that his devotees, in this case Arjuna, Bhima, so three of them went to Jarasandha's capital, which was Magad. So by the way, Magad is like this like Bengal and I think Bihar area, right? This area. So nowadays you may not hear like one of the states, but it's in an old, empire. Okay, in the eastern area. So the king was very, very dutiful householder. He had respect for Brahmanas. Therefore, the three of them dressed as Brahmanas or priests. And he was a Kshatriya. He was very charitable. And he considered the spiritual masters of all the other castes. So Lord Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima were actually Kshatriyas, but they dressed as Brahmanas when they came to King Jarasandha to ask for charity, and be their guest. So let's see. Who wants to read further? Yes, Sampada.
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the dress of a Brahmana, said to the king, "We wish all glories to your majesty. We three guests at your royal palace have come from a great distance to ask you for charity, and we hope that you will kindly bestow upon us whatever we ask from you. We know by your good qualities, a person who is tolerant is always prepared to tolerate everything, even though distressful. Just as a criminal can perform the most abominable acts, a great charitable person like you can give anything and everything for which he is asked. For a great personality like you, there is no distinction between relatives and outsiders. A famous man lives forever, even after his death. Therefore, any person who is completely fit and able to execute acts which will perpetuate his good name and fame, and yet does not do so, becomes abominable in the eyes of great persons. Such a person cannot be condemned enough, and his refusal to give charity is lamentable throughout his whole life. Your Majesty must have heard the glorious names of charitable personalities such as Harishchandra, Rantidev, and Mudgala, who used to live only on grains picked up from the paddy field, and the great Maharaj Sibi, who saved the life of a pigeon by supplying flesh from his own body. These great personalities have attained immortal fame simply by sacrificing the perishable body. Lord Krishna, in the garb of a Brahmana, thus convinced Jarasandha that fame is imperishable but the body is perishable. If one can attain imperishable name and fame by sacrificing his perishable body, he becomes a very respectable figure in the history of human civilization.
Interesting. Thank you, Sampada, for reading. Anyone else who gave charity? Can you think of like extraordinary charity? The demigods go to someone to ask for bones. Remember? Remember we discussed in the Chitraketu and Vritrasur story? Ask for bones from Dadichi. right? You remember? He gave his body. Yes, Ansh?
When Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya got Krishna, Nanda Maharaj gave cows and jewels in charity to the Brahmanas.
Yes, yes, very good. Even the great Bali Maharaj, he gave up his everything, right? The three-step Bali and Vamandev story, you know? How many of you know Vamandev and Bali Maharaj story? 3 steps of land? Come on, give me a thumbs up or something. Everyone knows that story, right? Good. Okay, so basically, Lord Krishna is encouraging, they're about to ask something in charity, right? Anyone guess what they will ask for in charity, right? What they will ask for? Hmm? Yes, Beyonto?
Like a body part-ish?
Yeah,
A body part?
body part. Mm, okay, no, that's not correct. But good guess. Anyone else? Ansh?
When oh, never mind.
What is Arjuna, Bhima, and Krishna as Brahmanas going to ask? Okay, let's see shortly. So even Jarasandha, he kind of understood that these people are not ordinary Brahmanas. Like Bhima, his body was not like a Brahmana. These are like Kshatriyas. And he was thinking, oh, it's Krishna, maybe. It's Krishna and his, like brothers, Arjuna and Bhima. But still, even though the example of Bali Maharaj knew that he might be cheated, but still he kept his words. So even here, Jarasandha said, okay, I will give whatever you like, I'll give. If you so desire, you can take my head also. I'm prepared to give it. After that, Jarasandha, spoke all these. He said, no, we don't need you know, we don't need your head. We have not come for ask for food or grains. We're not actually Brahmanas. We are Kshatriyas. We have come to beg for a duel, a fight, a match with you, right? You may note that here is a second son of King Pandu, Bhimasena, and the third son, Arjuna. And I'm your old enemy, Krishna. So at this point, Krishna revealed and asked for a fight in charity. Interesting charity, right? People ask for grains or some money or something, but Krishna asked for fight. He said, oh, you fools, you want to fight with me? I immediately grant your request. Krishna, you are a coward, right? I refuse to fight with you. Hmm. Because you become very confused when you face me in the fighting, right? And you run away out of fear. You left your city, Mathura. Therefore, Krishna is called Ranachora. Now you have taken shelter within the sea, referring to Dwarka. And Arjuna, oh, he's younger to me. I don't find he's an equal fighter. But maybe Bhima is suitable. So I'll fight with Bhima. Okay? So both of them took their clubs and went outside the city to fight. Yes, let's see. The fighting begins now. Who has not read? Wants to read? Yes, Lakshay.
Bhimasena and King Jarasandha engaged themselves in fighting, and with their respective clubs, they were as strong as thunderbolts. They began to strike each other very severely, both of them being eager to fight. They were both expert fighters with clubs, and their techniques of striking each other were so beautiful that they appeared to be two dramatic artists dancing on a stage. When the clubs of Jarasandha and Bhimasena loudly
collided, the impact sounded like that of the big tusks of two fighting elephants, or like a thunderbolt in a flashing electrical storm. When two elephants fight together in a sugarcane field, each of them snatches a stick of sugarcane, holds it tightly in his trunk, and strikes the other. At that time, the sugarcane becomes smashed by such heavy striking. Similarly, when Bhimasena and Jarasandha were heavily striking each other with their clubs on different parts of their bodies, namely their shoulders, arms, collarbone, chest, thighs, waist, and legs, their clubs were torn to pieces. In this way, all the clubs used by Jarasandha and Bhimasena became ruined, and so the two enemies prepared to fight with their strong-fisted hands. Jarasandha and Bhimasena were very angry, and they began to smash each other with their fists. The striking of their fists sounded like the striking of iron bars, or like the sound of thunderbolts. And the two warriors appeared to be like two elephants fighting. Neither was able to defeat the other. However, for both were expert in fighting. They were of equal strength, and their fighting techniques were also equal. Neither Jarasandha nor Bhimasena became fatigued or defeated in fighting, although they struck each other continuously. At the end of each day's fighting, they lived at night as friends in Jarasandha's palace, and the next day they fought again. In this way, they passed 27 days in fighting.
Wow, 27 days they were fighting. So you see some of the pictures here of their fighting, like yeah, this one. This is Jarasandha and Bhima. 27 days, my God, that's a long time. So on the 28th day, Bhimasena told Krishna, "My dear Krishna, I must frankly admit, I cannot conquer Jarasandha." Lord Krishna, however, knew the mystery of Jarasandha's birth. Jarasandha had been born in two different parts from two different mothers. Very interesting, my dear friends. Pay attention here. Why was he called Jarasandha? So, two different parts from two different mothers. When his father saw that the baby was useless, he threw the two parts into the forest. There were there they were later found by a witch named Jara. There was a witch named Jara who was skilled in the black arts. She managed to join the two parts of the body from top to bottom. Knowing this, Lord Krishna therefore also knew how to kill him. He hinted Bhimasena that since Jarasandha had been brought to life by the joining of the two parts of his body, he could be killed by the separation of these two parts. Thus, Lord Krishna transferred his power into the body of Bhima. You see, Krishna's protection to Bhima. He powered, he transferred his power into the body of Bhimasena and informed him of the device by which Jarasandha could be killed. Lord Krishna plucked a twig from a tree, took it in his hand, and bifurcated, divided into two parts. In this way, he hinted Bhimasena how Jarasandha could be killed. And then he threw in a different direction, the cut. And Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is omnipotent, and if he wants to kill someone, no one can save him. Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. Similarly, if Krishna wants to save someone, no one can kill him. Informed by the hints of Lord Krishna, Bhimasena immediately took hold of Jarasandha's legs. Let's see here. Just quickly show you. I'll try to draw. Let's see how it works out. So the body just imagine. was the one half and then the other half. So this was Jarasandha. Hmm? Who joined her? Who joined him? Jara. Sandhi, Sandha. Sandhi means in Sanskrit to join. So Jarasandha was joined by the mother in two parts, and therefore, as Lord Krishna hinted, he rip apart his body in two parts and throw in separate direction, and that's what Bhima did later. By ripping his body, as you see here, he kind of ripped apart his body in two parts and then threw in the different direction so that uh, he could not be joined again. Some pictures here. Of Jarasandha. Yeah. So that's how Bhimasena pressed one of Jarasandha's legs onto the ground and took hold of the other leg with his two hands, as we see in this picture. Very interesting. Pressed the one leg, took the other leg, and kind of pulled it. And divided the body into two parts. Tore his body in two, from the anus up to the head. As an elephant breaks the branches of a tree in two, Bhimasena separated the body of Jarasandha. The audience standing nearby saw that Jarasandha's body was now divided into two halves. So each half had one leg, one thigh, one testicle, one backbone, one chest, collarbone, arm, eye. So kind of what we see here, right? So each half had one eye, right? One nostril, one hand, right? One leg. So one chest. So interesting, right? Very interesting. As soon as the news of Jarasandha's death was announced, that's the last paragraph. Who has not read? Anyone who has not read yet today? Mishti, you want to read? This is the last paragraph.
As soon as the news of Jarasandha's death was announced, all the citizens of Magadha began to cry, "Alas, alas!" while Lord Krishna and Arjun embraced Bhimasen to congratulate him. Although Jarasandha was killed, neither Krishna nor the two Pandava brothers made a claim to the throne. Their purpose in killing Jarasandha was to stop him from creating disturbance to the proper discharge of world peace. A demon always creates disturbances, whereas a demigod always tries to keep peace in the world. The mission of Lord Krishna is to protect the religious and kill the demons who disturb a peaceful situation. Therefore, Lord Krishna immediately called for the son of Jarasandha, whose name was Sahadev, and with due ritualistic ceremonies, the Lord asked him to occupy the seat of his father and reign over the kingdom peacefully. Lord Krishna is the master of the whole cosmic creation, and he wants everyone to live peacefully and execute Krishna consciousness. After installing Sahadev on the throne, he released all the kings and princes who had been imprisoned unnecessarily by Jarasandha.
Thank you. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 72nd chapter of the Krishna, the liberation of King Jarasandha. Okay, quick reflections. What struck you from this chapter? What you liked? What was interesting? Any take-home lessons, etc.? We have a few minutes to talk about that. We read the whole chapter today, pretty much. Anything you liked? Anything you want to share? Anything struck you? Okay, everyone has to share one point. Please, what struck you from today's reading, today's Jarasandha story? There are a lot of beautiful lessons, a lot of striking points. Yes, Athar?
Whenever like what Krishna wants to like punish you, there is nothing you can do to escape because he is like everywhere, and yeah, so you might as well just say goodbye and stuff.
Yeah. Or you might, or one might take his shelter, then he won't punish. Jarasandha also had the choice. If he would have surrendered, he would have not been killed. And the beautiful last few, in the last chapter or last paragraph we read, it was not that Arjuna wanted the throne. Who was put on the throne after Jarasandha was killed? Who remembers? Beyonto?
Shadev?
Sahadev? Who was one of the Pandavas?
Yes. Wait, no.
Tricky question.
Wait, yes. Wasn't he born from? Yeah, he was.
Sahadev, the Pandavas? One of the four Pandavas was
It
put as the king.
was
Yeah.
Jarasandha's son.
Huh, Ansh?
It was Jarasandha's son.
Yes, it was the son of Jarasandha. He was a good king, or he was a good person. Jarasandha was a bad ruler. Krishna wanted to punish the demoniac. Good. Okay, Lakshay, yes, what's on your mind?
It's similar to what Matrup said, but like if Krishna wants to save someone, like no one can kill him.
Yes, Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare Ke. Krishna wants to protect someone, no one can save him, and vice versa. Yes, Mishti, what's on your mind?
I think this story shows that Krishna always helps his devotees, like how he helped Bhima. He told Bhima how to kill Jarasandha.
Yes, beautiful. We connected to the last point, how Krishna protects his devotees. So he told how he helped. One point Ethereal told that he taught Bhima how to kill Jarasandha, okay? Or he told his history. How else Krishna helped Bhima? Anyone knows? Did Krishna do anything else? Yes, Beyonto?
Didn't Lord Krishna give Bhima his body? Like he transferred his body power and gave it to Bhima so Bhima
Yeah,
could kill
he transferred. We see the Lord
Narasandha?
Krishna transferred his power into the body of Bhima and informed him. So two ways. So he told the history of Jarasandha, told him how to kill, and also gave the power. Okay, important point. Good, good. Okay, who else has a point? Good job, Ethereal. Nice point. Yes, Beyonto?
That Krishna will always protect his like devotees no matter what.
Yes, Krishna is always very, very, you know, protective about his devotees. He's also called Bhakta Vatsala. And who has the right to become devotee? Or who can potentially become a devotee? Anyone? Yes, good. Anyone. Could Jarasandha also potentially become a devotee? Yes, actually. Yeah, actually, these are all, devotees only. They come and do the leelas. So, right? Okay, what else? Nana, what did you like? Any other points anyone has before we wrap up?
I liked like when you said that like I'm not kind of adding on to what others said, but like he like protects like all his like everyone, but he like especially like protects his like devotees.
Yes. He likes everyone, he loves everyone. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshi na priya ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham. Think of us also, like you have a class. How many students are there in the class? 20, 30, 40? How many students are there in the class? You're in the classroom, in school,
20.
20. Are you equal to all? Or do you hate some people? Do you hate some people? Or are you equipoised? Hmm? What do you say? Equipoised? More or less, right? But I'm sure out of those 20, one or two are close to you. Is that correct? Right? In every class, you have your, special friend, bestie, the person you talk to more, work more, you hang out with them, you play with them, is that correct? So
Yes.
it's everywhere. We're getting this from the Supreme Lord. Good. What else? Anything else before we wrap up? Okay, so we'll pause here. We discussed about Jarasandha, we discussed the story, we discussed the background, we discussed some verses, and Gita Jayanti is in a week from now. So I wish you happy Gita Jayanti, the advent of Gita. Let's take this month to celebrate Gita Jayanti, share Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita, and memorize Bhagavad Gita, and just as much as possible absorb in the Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much for joining. We'll pause here. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samavita Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripasindubhyaiva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.